I can't even believe I'm saying this right now. If you're going to be the first round pick, and Ayala's my best friend, and I love him a lot, right? But if you're going to be the first round pick in a draft and you're going to score 0 points in a game,
Hey, don't be that mean to him.
he had 2 points.
I think so.
I had 2 points too. I'm not even that good at basketball. I literally just go to monkey around.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the most must-see podcast here in the NJSSL. Welcome to the Cutting Redge. We are live with two guys that are going to be big names in the NJSSL for this basketball season. But before we talk about them and before I introduce them, we have to talk about the finals of the football and NJSSL football, flag football finals, where we have one of the members of the championship winning team. Please welcome my first guest. He was on MyFin journey this past season. He was a huge player in the first couple of games where they kept losing and became less and less relevant as the team kept winning. So I'm not sure what that means, but please welcome my first guest, Professor Hasan Ali. Professor, how's it going, my man?
I'm doing good, Reg. I'm doing good, man. Salam alaikum, salam alaikum.
Walaikum brother.
It's always a pleasure to be on here.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you on here. You know, it's the first time we've had you featured while your hair is short, so I think it's a very special.
Just remember, Reg, the most views you ever got, I was on the podcast.
100%. I'll never forget that. Almost 300 we cracked.
Yes.
We haven't had numbers anything like that since, so hopefully we'll bring it back with this one. And before we get into football, let me introduce my second guest. He is a man that knows no limits when it comes to running his mouth. He is a man that has, well, man's not even the right word. He's a boy, basically, whose father also is in the NJSSL and has consistently had to, reprimand him for running his mouth. And so please welcome a guy who we anticipate is going to make a big splash. I believe he might be a captain this year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, sure. And he is going to hopefully lead his team to victory. Didn't happen week one, but we'll see what happens as we continue. Please welcome Ali Hasan Hussain. Assalamu alaikum, Ali Hasan. How are you, my man?
Thank you so much for having me. And I will say, I do talk a lot of trash, but at the end of the day,
there you go, man. There is that trophy. What even trophy is that?
It's the DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year.
Fair enough. That was from last year.
Yep.
Big cheese, you are big cheese. So hopefully you'll make that same splash this year. All right, before we get into basketball, Professor, my friend. Despite all the odds, and each terrible week after week after week that your team had in the beginning, MyFin journey, they found a way to figure it out, and they led that team to the championships. Tell me about how the entire playoff run went for you guys. What was the mindset, and how it you ended up with the trophy.
Okay, so I think this whole thing, everybody talks about how Shazan is not a good leader. It all started from him, where he loves to play quarterback, by the way. And as somebody, myself, I play quarterback a lot in my life, but I just can't no more because I have a bum shoulder. And it would be hard for me to be like, all right, I'm not playing. And Shazan stepped up and he said, all right, this is not for me. Let's give somebody else a shot. And after week one, even though we were losing, we just knew because we had a good defense. Like even our second game, I think against Motherland, they scored a lot of points, but offensively, they didn't do much outside of like one big run by Farhan. He didn't have that many completed passes. They didn't have that many receiving yards. It was just defensive touchdowns, or they got like really good field goal position from our turnovers. But that was the first game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Shajan just kept us together. And he made sure that everybody's opinions were heard one by one, and then as well as Shubi, he's one of the great leaders of our community,
for sure,
inside and outside of NJSSL. So he kept us together. He told us, even though he was there every single game, but he was saving himself for the playoffs, because he's an older guy. He doesn't want to hurt himself. So he said. Fair. And when it came to the playoffs, he showed up and destroyed everybody.
Definitely. I kept underestimating him because how irrelevant he was.
Yes,
in
you did.
Few weeks.
You did.
And
you
he
slept
totally
on him.
Proved me wrong.
Yes, he did. He did totally. He destroyed them. And we were only rushing 2. And there were times where in the finals they were protecting 4 and 5. Shabibai and Ertuzar were smoking everybody. Yasser, I forget the center's name. I forget his name. What's his name? Shows up. Sorry, shows up.
Yeah.
Shows up. Whoever was there, Shelby Boy was running past him, flying past him, getting to Taha, making him bad decisions. The pick six that Irtaza had, shout out to Irtaza, was
Wild.
a genius play. So Shelby White was ahead of him. He was putting pressure. Shows up was the center. He leaked out, and Irtaza heard shows up saying Taha Taha. Instead of Irtaza going back, he started moving backwards. I mean, going towards Taha, he took 2 steps back towards shows up and picked it off and took it back to the crib. And Yasha couldn't pull his flags.
Crazy. Yeah. And somebody, I think it was even Taha also, or somebody like missed it right at the end. And I'm like, if he wasn't going very
there was
fast, I don't know how you missed it right at the end.
It was really it was Irtaza was moving. He was like, man, I thought it was a video game. I was going left, I was going right.
Funny
And
jacket.
shout out to Wooly too. Wooly, he literally, when we played Motherland in the playoffs, he literally made a doc about how they play, what plays they run, and when they plays. Like he literally watched and like he made a Bill Belichick plan.
Yeah.
He knew when he's like, yo, if Farhan looks this way, if his angle is this way, he's gonna run this play. So when they lined up for trips and he had Poppy Moose was, going towards where he was, and Farhan looked at him, he knew he was gonna throw it. So he already knew. And that's if you watch the play, he jumped the play.
Yeah.
And he took it to the crib for the pick six.
And
Even
this-
against Taha, he knew we had our defense. He was the mastermind behind our defense.
So,
And then you
again,
have pieces like Yafa. I'm sorry to cut you off. You can say
no,
something?
go ahead.
Then you have he's a mastermind. Then you have pieces like everybody on our team. If I don't remember say your name, everybody. From Akbar Joffrey to Gunno, who else is on? Shabibai,
bro.
Fardeen, Yafa, Wali, Shazan, everybody. Everybody was just clicking together, pulling flags, just making things
Hamza.
happen.
Yeah.
Hamza, yes, Hamza.
100%. I will say, I mean, like your team balled out. I mean, it looked like we were watching a very different team in the playoffs
Oh
than
yeah,
we
it was a
saw
whole
the
different
entire
team.
season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is what threw everyone off. And I think that also led to a lot of success, and that's what led to that championship victory.
Yeah.
100%. Big shout out to all the guys that you mentioned. Vali proving once again that you can't doubt greatness. He's definitely.
I just wanna sorry to cut you off, but
No,
I wanna call out ZJ, Alisha for and Mehdi MJF for disrespecting Willie, saying he's this, he's that, he's washed, this, that, and the third, blah blah blah. And you too, Reg. You said you did not trust us, man. None of us. In Shelby Bay, you didn't trust nobody, none of us, and we proved everybody wrong.
100%.
And I didn't even do much. I couldn't. One week I had I had a wedding, and then the second week I was like sick, so I didn't want to come and play. I didn't do much. And even in the finals, as much as guys, I played majority of the snaps on offense, but I played maybe like 30% because I was like, you know what? I don't want to ruin the chemistry.
Yeah. No, you're right. You definitely, all the doubters, myself included, were very much proven wrong. So big congratulations. No, I will definitely say it. I mean,
Yeah, it feels good to win, man. And finally, last year we lost in the finals, and me and Yafa were like, bro, we can't lose back to back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. On that Cowboys team, I remember that.
Yeah, we lost to you.
You lost to us. You lost to Vali. That's who you lost.
Yeah, we lost to Vali.
The genius mind, because he planned for your game on the Cowboys the same way that he planned with you guys on against.
He's the best because he sits there and spends his time and watches and plans. Like you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't. This is definitely the part of the joys of not having a wife and children. But
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, that's true. You need time on your hand to do that.
But yeah, definitely a big congratulations, big shout out. We look forward to seeing how much of your team gets recreated come next football season, and where it ends up leading to from there.
Yeah.
Great work again.
One last thing, I just want to shout out to Fardeen a lot. He doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know anybody's playing style. He was put into the fire, and that's why people was talking about our offense. Oh, they have so many weapons. Like, I mean, this guy never seen any of us play. He doesn't know how we play. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't have no chemistry with us, and he played well, man. He played excellent. Fardeen stepped up and made good throws. There was a lot of drop catches too, and a lot of respect to Fardeen for showing up and just keep it pushing and keeping it together. And eventually we became the champs. That's it.
100%. No, I mean, I think, big shout outs to everybody on that team, man. They really pulled together when it mattered, and they got the
greatest run in NJSSL history.
Very, very much arguably, very, very arguably. 100%. And I guess for Ash Research Clinic, you guys let me down because I had high hopes for you. Shubber, you've officially lost your face to the franchise title. That goes to Vali Mirzal without any doubts. And Shazan, who was the biggest heel, I guess has the biggest face turn. Becoming a champion finally.
Yeah.
And
He deserved it,
NJSSL,
man. He
well
deserved it.
deserved after many,
He
many, many
deserved it.
failed attempts.
Yes.
So excellent. Well, with that, let's transition over to our basketball season. We had week 1 this past week. Prof, I don't think you didn't get the chance to play this week, but
No, I
because you
didn't.
were on the championship winning team and you're in basketball, I definitely wanted to have you on.
Yeah.
I guess we can even start with your team's game. Let's start with Zahra
Yeah.
Trust versus Gigafit. Go ahead.
Okay.
Were you
So
gonna say something?
I watched the game. I did the stats for our game,
Mm-hmm.
and our top three players weren't there. Me, Sajad, and Taz were not there. And I actually watched the game, and I actually, even though we lost by 20, I liked what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Because Shavo played pretty well, and this new kid Ahmad Mehdi, shout out
Mm-hmm.
to him. He was I think he was his third or second last, like sixth, seventh round pick, and he's a hooper. Like he's a hooper. If
He
you
played
watch the
well.
tape, he plays well. He's quick. He shot 2 of 2 from the three, and he gets to the rack. Like it doesn't matter who's guarding him. He can get to the rack. He has a quick first step. He didn't shoot too efficient from the 2 point because the layups weren't going in. It was his first time playing on that court, and that depth perception over
Mm-hmm.
there, it's like messes you up. You got
Different.
to get used to it.
Yeah.
So and Shavo was playing great. Shavo. Let me see what he did. Shavo.
Yeah.
Hold
While
on.
you're pulling that up, I'll just take a moment to say the final score in this game was 55-34 in favor of Zahra Trust, and I think
Mhm.
Zahra Trust, especially with no Prof, no Taz, and no Sajad Al KCN, was very heavily favored in this game. I think big shout outs have to go to Adil Kazmi and Abbas Heather, and I would go as far as to say that Adil Kazmi is definitely an early vote for Offensive Player of the Year with an
Yes.
excellent. He had 20 points with 73% from shooting, from the field. And then Abbas Heather is definitely very much an MVP candidate. He had 12 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. So great work from both of those guys. Were you able to find?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got it. Like Shavo shot four. He shot 4 of 8 from the 2 point, which is a really good. This kid's 14 years old,
Fantastic.
and he was getting to the rack. He didn't. He made half of his free throws. We had a lot we had, I think, 11 assists. No, we had 9 assists. We had a good amount of steals, and I think we just like Sayed Ali's shots weren't falling. It was the first time he's playing on that court
Yeah,
too,
for sure.
and in the end he got hot, but it was a little too late.
Yeah,
So and they would move the ball pretty well too. Like nobody was ball hogging. I watched the game. Everybody was moving the ball. Everybody was taking shots, which is a good sign. And
100%.
you're playing against a team that has a boss header, Hussain. They got
Yep.
Adil. They got Irfan. Even Irfan's a vet. He doesn't play much, but he hit a few big shots.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the biggest thing that I saw from Zara Trust is that they were just because they're so experienced, they had excellent cohesion, excellent chemistry,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. They played really well.
they played really well, and they capitalized on the fact that you guys just did not have enough manpower. I think they only
Yeah.
had 5 guys, right? They didn't even have any subs or anything either.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We had to pick somebody up. I
Yeah,
think for a
yeah,
little bit from D2, but majority of the game it was just 5 guys.
it was just 5 guys, and I think as you already pointed out, Ahmad Mehdi, I think very much a potential Rookie of the Year candidate.
Oh
Just
yeah, I think I don't think nobody else is gonna beat him. Either
yeah,
sleeper of the year or his rookie of the year. He's gained one of those.
yeah, for sure, without a doubt. Awesome. Zara Trust moves up to 1-0 after this game. I think they are first place overall with the biggest point differential. Gigafit in last place right now, but obviously only one game in. Let's move on. Let's get Ali Hassan involved. Ali Hassan, let's talk about your game, Founder versus Physical Therapy and Wellness. Final score in this game was 35-27. Founder, I think, I would say was the favored team as well. Before I get into I only have bad things to say about this game. So before I go ahead. Tell me how you thought this game
Um. Well, first of all, I played Ali Abed's team, so right off the bat, I was going to that game like I have to win this game because Ali Abed was a really good player last year. I will give it to him. He was fighting against me for the defensive player of the year. And he's definitely a really good defensive player. So it is hard playing against them. So going into the first week, I was like, we have to pull through because it's first week. It's Ali Abid. Want to
Yeah,
get
then
this
you didn't.
going, and then we didn't. I'm like, by the way the first half went, I was really hopeful for our team because we were playing really, really good basketball. We were playing really good team basketball. But once the second quarter hit, and I mean the second half hit, we only had two subs. Our point guard was getting tired. I was getting tired. A few of the guys were getting tired. So we kept, getting in and off the court, and that wasn't really working too well for us. But what was working for them was they had all their subs, so they were able to,
Yeah.
get everybody in rotation. It was keeping everybody fresh. So that was good for them. I will say that they had that set up pretty well.
I think it was definitely helpful. I think it's interesting that you said that your team played really well in the first half. It's actually interesting that anybody thinks that either of these teams played well because they both just played so sloppily and poorly. There was just turnovers galore. There was bad shots. There was poor choices. It was pretty rough. Honestly, I think the biggest stat that I think tells the whole story is that Founders was 8 of 17 from free throw, which
Right.
means they took 17 free throws.
Right.
You know how many free throws your team took? 2.
Yeah.
And I think if you take away all those fouls, that's the game right there. Like if you take away all those fouls, it's a much closer game. You only lost by 8 points. They scored 8 points for free throw.
Those fouls came in towards the end of the game because we needed to start fouling so we could keep getting the ball back because we were down by I think it was 6 points, and we were like, if we could just get 2 threes up within the 30 seconds that we have left in the game, there's a chance that we could bring this back. But
Yeah.
we kept having to foul, and we were fouling. It was 1-1, then it went to the 2 shots, and they kept hitting their free throws.
Yeah.
It was killing us. So that really killed the morale, and then once the score kept going up, we were like, yeah, we got to shoot more threes just to even out the score.
Fair enough. I think they overall defensively, I think they played a little better than you guys, and I think that's what kind of ended up being the game changer. The biggest, again, I don't even have anyone good to talk about. From your team, you were playing very poorly. I think Ali Joffrey was shooting some sloppy shots, and then on their side, it was Abbas Nathani was like he played almost as bad as he looks. So we'll
That is
see.
insane. And I
We'll,
say that because Boston Thani is a pretty ugly person.
All right. Well, I mean,
So,
we'll see what happens. Maybe
but I'll
he'll
say
look to
this.
get
Let
better
me
in his
say
game.
this. It was first week. Last season, we lost the first game, and we went on to win. We went on to go undefeated until the last game. So I'll say this. It's first game. We're still getting to know each other. We're still getting to know, what we're good at. We're trying to get the pick and roll going. So I'll tell you what, last season, nobody in the league could drive on me and Sean. And now this season, it's me, Sean, and Ali Abbas. So I want to see who in the league can drive on us now.
So
Because
let's see what you have. Let's see what you have. Let's see what happens.
let's do it.
All right. Let's move on to the next game. We got Prof. Let's get you back in there. We got Timeless Creations versus Mako. This I believe was essentially ZJ's team versus team Adnan Riaz's family. Prof, you in the game? Oh, you're checking the stats.
Yeah, I'm here.
Making sure. All right.
Start the question.
So in this game, Timeless, I would say they were the favored team for sure, especially because there's no Shahrukh. He wasn't there this week. Otherwise, he would have been a huge game changer for Mako.
For sure. Yeah.
The big thing I saw from this game, Timeless, they were very cohesive right from the beginning. Very similar to how Zahra Trust was. The final score in this game was 51-32, so equally as much of a blowout as your game. Mako, on the other hand, they just looked lost right from the beginning. I don't know if I'm not. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it. So
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
they just looked lost from the beginning. I think one big thing I had to do a double take on was Zulfi also cut his hair, and I feel like that. I just want to point out Zulfi. You got.
I couldn't recognize him. I'm like, who is
I
that?
didn't. Exactly. It was like when you cut your hair, nobody recognized you. And I
Yeah.
think his skill basically went out the window with his hair. So, I mean, I don't know what he's got going on there, but he seemed confused. Mosted played okay. I mean, he was probably the best player on the team. He had 13 rebounds, 10 points, 2 steals and a block.
Mo.
But everybody else just kind of seemed lost, and even mostly he's had better games. Just watching the way that he played. The big thing I would say for Timeless is that ZJ definitely showed his dominance on the court with 17 points, 7 rebounds, 5 steals. He was hitting all the shots. The one person who I thought everybody else also played very well on Timeless Creations. The one person I thought was kind of again, like kind of lost out there was Mehdi Joffrey. But I don't know. I guess his minutes were cut because he was just looking so lost and everybody else was playing so well. I think Abu played really well. He was on that team. A couple other guys. But Prof, any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think ZJ drafted a good team, players that can move the ball around, play on each other, trust each other. But I think we actually played them this week, and they lack height, and they're gonna just try to run and gun. I know that's what they're gonna try to do when we play them. But let's see what happens when we play them. But they did play. ZJ played really well. Farhan played really well. Even though Mehdi might not done too good offensively, but Mehdi always plays hard on defense. It's not easy to get by Mehdi. He's gonna throw elbows. He's gonna get physical with you, and he's not gonna make it easy. And then for the Mako side, I think Mo should have took more. Mo is he's like a team player. He's gonna move the ball around, pass the ball around, get more people involved. But when you don't have your best player there with Shark, I think Mo he should have took more shots. Like he should have been more aggressive, and I'm sure he knows that himself.
Yeah.
Like he should have been more aggressive, And then Zofi shot 1 of 8 from 3. That's if Zofi's not gonna. I had Zofi on our team last year. If Zofi's making threes, you're not gonna lose the game because that's your X factor. If
Right.
he's not gonna make his threes, you're not gonna win the game.
That's basically what it is. And I think same goes for Thorab. Thorab was also playing relatively well in this game.
Yeah, Thorab did
I would
pretty
like
well.
to see more shots out of him too. I feel like that could have made a huge difference.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, we'll see what happens in week 2 with Mako and Timeless Creations. But let's move on to AZ Dalchow versus Mo's Mobile Detailing. This was a wild game. It was a 38-37 final. AZ Dalchow with the win, which was interesting because Mo's Mobile Detailing was heavily favored, having a combination of Bobby Rizvi, Mazahir, Taha Rizvi, a lot of very solid guys. And actually, they were playing very well for pretty much most of the game. I mean, like their ball movement was excellent. Mo's Mobile Detailing. They had excellent control. The problem with them is that they couldn't score. Like I think every shot was like missed. They had 27% scoring from the field. Mazahir was 3 of 15. That's not going to cut it. I think Bobby was probably the best guy on that team, maybe. The big shout out that has to go to this game has to go to Misam Abbas Khan, aka MAK. It's not about Rack anymore. Rack is old news. It's all about MAK now. And MAK with a huge game-winning three-pointer. But in addition,
That was nasty.
It was an amazing shot. But in addition to that, he was also their top scorer in the game. He was like their top playmaker. He was just the guy to talk about. Ali Hasan, what do you have for this game?
So right off the bat, I said this to Bobby before. Bobby got kicked out of D1. I'm just gonna put it straight up, just like that. Yeah, Bobby got kicked out of D1 because he was so bad at basketball.
Yeah, why you do my man Bobby like that? Come on, man.
I know.
Put him into D2. So look, he's in D2 now. And what was his? What were his stats again? Can you say his stats one more time for me?
Yeah, I got you. So Bobby actually he was decent. Like he was better than some of the other guys on his team. 5 of 15 offensively. He was 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. He was only on a team that had fouls though. I don't know if that's the only guy that they counted it for, but he had 4 fouls and nobody else had fouls on the team apparently.
Yeah, well, so Bobby used to be a D1 caliber player, but now I mean he's just dropped down. I guess marriage kind of cooked him a little bit. That's fine.
That's usually what happens.
I drafted Misam for D1. He was in D1. I drafted Misam, and then I think On said that he wanted to play D2 because Misam, he's a hooper. He can play. He's a young kid. He's a hooper, and him and Shavo are friends. So I thought that would work. But I understand why he wants to get more play. And look, he made the right decision. He's shining right now.
100%. Actually, let's just take a second to talk about Misam Khan. 18 points in this game. He was 4 of 9 from 2 and 2 of 5 from 3. 7 rebounds. Also had a steal and a block. So excellent work for Misam in this game. Anyways, go on, Ali Hassan, with what you were saying.
This is where it becomes a problem. And all props to Misam Khan, he had a beautiful game. But if you have a team where you have Taha, who's probably like 6 or 7, like he's probably 6'7". If you have Taha on your team and you're having someone who's significantly smaller than you scoring that many points on you, that should already tell you that your team is in a really bad spot.
That's fair.
that's common knowledge. If you have Taha, who's a really big guy, who's getting I mean, how tall is Misam? He's much.
He's not that tall. He's not that tall. He's
He's
definitely under.
getting 7 rebounds over Taha. That's freaking pathetic.
Well,
So
I mean, that's fair. That's one way of looking at it. I mean, Taha did have 15 rebounds in this game. He also led his team with 12 points. So
he should have 15 rebounds. He's huge. He should.
that's true. That's fair. That's fair. In fact, actually, I'll give you one better. Faizan Razi had 12 rebounds in this game over Taha. So, so big shout out to him there. And then NAK, I don't know who gave NAK who even gave him the ball that he had 5 assists, but he had 5 assists, NAK. So we're going to give you.
I think MAK. That was a really good game for him. I will say that was a very superstar game. But
yeah, it's the MAK and NAK connection. That's what it was.
I want to comment one thing about Zahra though, because I did draft Zahra. Zahra was my first pick in the draft, and I ended up trading Zahra away because I think it was his availability. So I kept telling him, I was like, Maz, I'm so sorry I traded you, but I think it was the 4th time I said it to Maz. I said, Maz, I'm sorry for trading you. He came up to me and he said, you're gonna regret trading me. I said, I don't think so. I really don't think so. So I guess how many? What was this? He was 3 for 15. I guess I'm right. Again, once again.
Yeah, Zahra was pretty bad in this game. 3 of 15 offensively.
I do love you, Maz. I really do love you, but
5 rebounds. He had 4 assists and 2 steals, so I guess there's that. But here we are. All right. Well, let's move on to MyFin Journey and SNS Motorsports. This was actually quite the game. This was a final score of 49-45. This is a very hotly contested game. Both teams were pretty even. MyFin Journey looked really good with both Abbas Attar and Ahmed Ali at the helm. They were definitely both leading this team, directing the offense. It was excellent work on both guys. Both potential MVP, Depoy, Opoy potential guys on that team. They outplayed SNS Motorsports, but I think SNS Motorsports, they just haven't figured it out yet. SNS Motorsports is the team that has, Raza Ahmad, Faisal, Hasan Khan, I believe Salik is on that team as well. So those were some of the key guys that in this game. But they just didn't seem to know what they're doing. They didn't seem like to have a game plan, whereas MyFin was just very coherent right from the top.
I have a very interesting stat.
Tell me, and I'll jump in with a couple more stats, but go ahead.
All right, so SNS shot 70 shots, and MyFin shot 56.
Wow.
Usually, if a team shoots 14 more shots, and you only lose by what, 4 points? You lost by?
Yep.
That just means I think, because look, Raza and Salik shot combined of 8 of 32, which that doesn't usually happen. Raza is actually a very efficient player. So is Salik. So I think even though they might have not like meshed together and not played really well together, but they did take a good amount of shots. And Faisal didn't shoot too well either. He shot 4 of 13. So I think MyFin Journey actually got a little lucky with them missing their shots, because if they just made maybe 3 to 4 more shots, I think MyFin would have lost.
100%. That's definitely a fair way to look at it. I mean, I think part of what I was saying before is that they weren't taking the best shots. I mean, obviously some were just unlucky shots that they missed. But sometimes because their offense wasn't set up as well as SNS was, as MyFin was, they were just taking like lower percentage shots and therefore higher odds of missing it.
Yeah.
But you're so right. I think
that's crazy. 70 shots.
That's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to a lot of shots to miss, especially.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? I guess big shout out stat wise, I'm gonna give to Abbas Attar 17 points, 3 steals, and Ahmed Ali 13 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists. From that team from MyFin, I was less impressed with Sayadan. He also looked to not be playing super great out there. He's obviously a solid player, very deserving of being on this team of MyFin Journey, but he went 1 of 10 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. He did help out with 3 assists and 2 steals, though. So defensively and outside of shooting, he played relatively well. SNS, like you said, Raza Ahmed didn't have the best offensive game, but he did grab 18 boards. Hussain Khan also grabbed 14 boards. So again, if you're getting that many boards, you got to capitalize on them.
Yeah, 54 rebounds to 29 rebounds. Usually when a team rebounds that much more, you win the game.
Right. But it's just all those missed shots. That's what.
Yeah. And they shot 3 of 9 from the free throw, which is not good.
Yeah. Also, not ideal at all, especially when this other team is a 9-15. They definitely need to kind of figure out a better game plan. But I think once they do, they'll kind of be a top team, top caliber team.
Yeah, I
Travis
agree.
Fitzgerald, 13 points. I think one guy who needs to step it up also for his team, again, he's probably equivalent to say then, is Akbar Joffrey. He didn't have the best offensive game. I believe he was 1 of 9 maybe from the field.
Yeah, that was shocking. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, he's definitely played better than that. So,
Yeah,
we'll see what happens as the season goes on. All right. Well, that is MyFin and SNS. The last game that we have to talk about is going to be Miracle Family Dentistry versus Mirali Construction. Miracle Family Dentistry lost this one, a close game, 30-28. Mirali Construction on top. This was almost as bad as your guys' game, Ali Hassan. This was just sloppy right from the start. To put it in perspective, field goal percentages was 22% for Mirali Construction, 21% for Miracle. It was just a lot of open shots that were taken and missed, a lot of bad shots that were taken on both sides. Ayan, I believe, was the first overall pick in this draft, wasn't he? He couldn't do anything. Like basically what I learned from this game is that Usjud is basically what Ayan aspires to be, and that Ayan just needs to keep learning from Usjud because Ayan can't even hold up Usjud's pants. All right, so that's basically all I got for him.
I think Ayan looks up to Adi. He looks up to me. He looks up to a few people because if you're going to be the first round, this is freaking pathetic. I can't even believe I'm saying this right now. If you're going to be the first round pick, and Ayan's my best friend, and I love him a lot, right? But if you're going to be the first round pick in a draft, right, and you're going to score 0 points in a game,
Hey, don't be that mean to him. He got 2 points.
he had 2 points.
I think so.
I had 2 points too. I'm not even that good at basketball. I literally just go to monkey around. But whatever. And I know I definitely know Dennis Abbas really wanted to build this team around him. So I feel really bad for him because I was trying so hard to trade for Ayan to get him off of his hands because I know he wasn't gonna be able to create. But
I think he'll bounce back. That's just one bad game. He'll bounce back.
I don't think that he's ever been the center of the team before. So I think now he's got to figure out what his role is versus the rest of the team. But 1 of 11 from the field, 0 of 7 from 3-point range is not going to help. He did have 4 assists, led his team there. He did have a steal, 5 rebounds. So I think just from a scoring standpoint, he needs to kind of figure out how to kind of approach it. Big shout out to John Sheikh. John Sheikh led his team, 11 points offensively.
That's my guy, John. That's my guy. He's tough.
he's a young warrior, man. These youngins, them young boys coming.
Yeah, he's coming.
He's definitely ready to go. And then big shout outs to Shabir Naqvi with 11 rebounds and the return of Syed Hasan Aftab, I believe his name is, with 10 rebounds as well. He also played relatively well. And then, of course, for Mirali's Construction, it was all pretty much about Ali Asjad Shah and then Irfan Ali offensively. And the defensively 11 rebounds from one Morgan Hardiman. So I believe this is Morgan Hardiman's first season in basketball. He played once in football back on the Dolphins, but we're glad to have him back. The only other comment I have for Mirali Construction is that they honestly should have dominated this game. It should have been more one-sided, but they were just chucking up a bunch of bad shots also that, these guys kind of hung around and it was a lot closer than it should have been. So that's it. Any final thoughts, Ali Hassan?
So I think I'll cut everybody a break. I'm not going to cut myself a break because I need to get better, but I will cut everybody else a break. It is week 1. I know we're all still getting everybody's still getting used to their teams. Everybody's trying to build chemistry. So I feel like as the season goes on, everybody's going to get it together. But I think the two biggest threats to us, or to me at least, that I feel like are the biggest threats are going to be Adi's team. They definitely look like they could win the whole thing, and I think actually that's it. I'm pretty sure they're the only ones because AZ Dal, these guys are just there to screw around.
MAK, man, you gotta watch out for MAK. He knows what he's doing.
I will say MAK is good, but everybody else on that team, they're just on that team just to screw around because they're all friends.
He's gonna try and be the Shahrukh Naqvi of D2.
And I think he can. I think if he puts his mind to it, he can. Also, if you're, I don't know, but I think he's a really good player. That's what I'm trying to say. He's a very good player.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think as the season goes on, everybody's going to figure out who they really are on their team, and I think we're going to see there's going to be a lot of good talent coming out of some of these teams for sure.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Prof, any final thoughts?
Not much. I think it's going to be a good season. I'm actually really excited to play with me and my brother Sajad. I think we have our starting five is just five people that know how to play basketball, like five
Yeah.
hoopers on one team.
Yeah.
And even Abbas Heather hit me up after the game. He's like, "Man, once you, Sajad, Taz come back, you guys are going to be good, man. You guys are going to be a good team."
Yeah, for sure.
What do
For
you
sure.
think? I want to know what you think about D1 teams. Who do you think is going to be where and what
The top
standings?
teams. So I will say, based off of this first week, actually, even if you didn't show me this first week, just based off the teams
Yeah,
themselves,
they're just teams. Yeah.
I actually have Timeless being the most impressive team.
Okay.
I think that combination of ZJ, Mehdi J, Farhan is a strong like big three.
Hmm.
And then even they have a couple other like solid guys on there that I should definitely. Yeah, I mean, like basically their worst player. Their worst. I mean, granted, there's a couple of new guys on there, but their worst player is Abu. Now, if your worst player is Abu, or arguably on. But if those are your worst players, like you have a very solid team.
Yeah, nah, yeah.
So, so and you know who else they have? Sean Cosme, and he didn't even play. So I think this team is very well rounded. I think it's more well rounded than Mako. Obviously Mako has a Sharuk factor, which could change obviously anything. But I would say Timeless is right now my number one team. And at some point maybe I'll do a podcast with a breakdown of all the teams.
We play them
But
this week. Who you got, right?
in week 2 you're
Not
playing.
Mako, sorry. Timeless. We play Timeless this week.
Is your whole team back?
Yeah, Sayed Ali won't be there, but me, Taz, Sajad will be there.
Okay. I think because I think I'll still give the win to Timeless, but I think it's
Okay.
going to be a close game. I don't know if they're going to be missing guys. They might be,
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know if your chemistry is set yet. I think once your chemistry is set, then you become a much more formidable team. But I think these guys already have like excellent chemistry. So I think right now at week 2, if you ask me this at the end of the season, it might be different. But week 2, I think it's going to be them.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Which I will say I do disagree with that because if you have Prof and Taz, which is his brother, on the same team, I feel like if you have just two guys on a team that have good chemistry, it's super easy to build chemistry with the rest of the team.
Who the
Because
rest of the
last year it was me and Sean, and me and Sean have really good chemistry together. We were able to build a really good team around us. So I feel
True.
like Prof and Taz
So
will be.
who you got winning?
I'd still probably go with Timeless, but I
Okay, that's
I
good.
do
That's
think
good to hear. Both you guys
you guys
got Timeless.
because I think ZJ and Mehdi, those guys are. I mean, ZJ is really good at basketball. Mehdi's
They
also.
also have two brothers.
So it's gonna be the battle of the
We'll
brothers.
see. It's the battle of the brothers.
Yep.
It's the battle of the brothers. It's the battle of the brothers. All
But
right.
wait, let me ask you the same question. Next week I'm playing Uddy's team. Who do you think is gonna win that one?
You and I wish I'm gonna try and pull up these games here real quick. But I would say between your team and Uddy's team, I mean, I don't know. Both teams are pretty sloppy and bad, so it's gonna be hard to say. And it also obviously depends on who's there and who's not there. I guess I would say as of right now, I'd probably give the win to Uddy's team, but that I mean. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, man. They played pretty bad too, so it might be
Yeah,
you
no,
guys.
I understand. I understand. We'll see. We'll definitely see what happens on Sunday, but it's gonna be a good matchup. I'm very excited for that, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, here we go. Actually, yeah, I have the rest of the games pulled up too. So let's just kind of run through it real quick, actually, while we're finishing up. So we talked about Timeless and Giga. We said Timeless is going to win that. We talked about Mir Ali and PTW. We said Mir Ali is going to win that. Let's talk about SNS Motorsports and Mako. Who do you got for that one, Prof?
Mako and SNS Sports.
Yeah.
Shark is back, right?
I don't know, but let's assume
I
he
think
is.
so. If a Shark is there, I got Mako. But if not, then I got SNS.
That's fair. SNS is a team I like the way that they play. I think
Yeah,
that
they're good, man. I'm telling you. I think they just if their shot selection was just a tad bit better, they would have won their game.
yeah, no, 100%. I also agree. I think I'm going to give the win to Mako. And honestly, I think after that loss, Mako's going to kind of figure it out. So I think even if Chalk's not there, I'm going to give the win to Mako.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Let's move on to MyFin Journey and Zahra Trust. I would say that one again. Zahra played really, really well. MyFin was also really good too, but I'm gonna give this one to Zahra. I think that they are again have like that chemistry set. They're very cohesive. It's gonna be a close game though, probably within 5 points of each other. This is like Adil and Abbas Heather versus like Ahmed Ali and Abbas Heather's team. Prof, who would you got for that?
I'm gonna go with Abbas's team.
Yeah, Zahra Trust. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
go
feeling.
with Zara Trust. And I think it's gonna be a really close game as well. And I wouldn't be shocked if MyFin wins, but I think I'll give it the edge to Abbas's team.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, cool. Then next we got Founders and AZ Dodgeball. I gotta go with AZ Dodge. You know, I'm not gonna go against Mac yet. You know, I trust in Mac. What do you got for this one, Ali Hassan?
Yeah, I agree. I think Dal, if they get there, yeah, I think I'll go with Dal. I'll agree with you with this one. I'll go with Dal on this one because if I feel like if they could put Fezan on Gomel Kazım, if they could really have Fezan shut him down, then they'll be okay. Because that he was the biggest problem against us last week. He
Right.
was getting all
Yeah.
the rebounds, the backs. It was really, I mean, our defense just completely collapsed when he was in the paint. So I feel like if they could that's my advice. If they're listening to me right now, figure out a routine to stop Kumail Kazim. That's it. That's all you have to worry about. Everybody else, barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken indeed, and maybe a little bit of ghosh to go along with it. Who do you got for Mo's Mobile Detail versus Miracle Family Dentistry? I would say I still trust in Mo's Mobile Detail as a potential team, and I think Bobby's going to be mad after that last loss. So I'm going to give it to the win to Mo's Mobile. What do you got, Ali Hassan?
I'm gonna say if Ayan can get his rhythm back and he could move the ball around, and you have Hassan playing a big man, and if they could figure out their starting lineup, then beating Maz and Bobby is going to be easy as anything. Like I feel like they could do that with half of their guys because I feel like this is the problem with Maz and Bobby, right? There's two all stars on a team, well, all stars, but they're trying too hard to take the spotlight. I feel like Maz wants to be the star of the team, but so does Bobby. So I think they're fighting because they both put up 15 shots, didn't they? Both of them put up 15 shots,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Versus 15 shots. So that tells me, and that tells everybody else that they're both trying to prove themselves. But if you have two people trying to prove themselves instead of working together, what's going to happen? It doesn't look like anything's going to work out. So I'm going with Ayan's team.
Interesting. Well, week 2 is going to come up in a few days. It's going to be a great week. Hopefully, we can all attend live and see all the action play out. I look forward to seeing Professor back on the basketball court and proving us that he's going to lead his team to victory. But we'll see what happens, inshallah. Until then, guys,
Inshallah,
watch.
inshallah.
Have a great rest of your night, and inshallah, we'll see you next
All
time
right.
on Cutting Redge.
Thanks for having us, Reg.
Of course.
Salam. Ali Hassan, salam. Love you guys.
Love you too, man.
Likewise,
Take it easy,
brother.
guys.
Likewise. Take care,
Allah
guys.
Hafiz.